Rachel Zegler, who stars as Snow White, condemned Prince Charming as weird and a stalker, adding that she hates the original. Nice start. Leaked photos from the set revealed that the 7 dwarves had been sensationally axed, replaced by multiracial, gender non-specific, magical humans.
It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about
she's gonna die.
Love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can. I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Here, so the reason we had Rachel Zegler on the docket is she's an asshole. That's number one.
It is, and it's really mean to put her next to Gal Gadot, who's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
So
it's not fair.
Piers Morgan just dropped a bombshell on Rachel Zegler, and Disney's top brass are scrambling behind closed doors. In what's being called the most savage takedown of 2023, Morgan went in hard on Zegler's infamous Snow White comments, the same ones that sparked outrage among fans across the globe. But this isn't just celebrity drama. It's a full-blown crisis. Sources close to the production reveal Disney is now in damage control mode, with emergency meetings underway and even talks of expensive reshoots for the $200 million film, all because of what you're about to witness in this explosive confrontation.
No, she's dumb. She's young and she's dumb. But maybe she'll learn. You know what? Whatever I called her, it worked. She's had a long history of saying woke, annoying things. Our new Snow White.
Once again, Piers Morgan proves he's not afraid to speak his mind. But this time, he took it to a whole new level. When it comes to Rachel Zegler's controversial Snow White remarks, Morgan didn't hold back. He obliterated her. Media analysts are calling it the most brutal celebrity roast of the year. And it wasn't just criticism, it was a systematic takedown. This wasn't a jab, said media expert Caroline Weber. It was a precision strike. Morgan tore into Zegler's attitude toward the role, calling out what he described as her staggering ingratitude toward Disney. Why would Disney trust their crown jewel to someone who clearly thinks the original is outdated garbage? Morgan asked. It's like asking someone to restore the Mona Lisa when they think Da Vinci was overrated. The most jaw-dropping moment came when Morgan stared into the camera and said, "Whoever approved this casting should be fired." The fallout? Disney is in full-blown panic mode, and the internet can't stop watching.
And far below projections. Internationally, a similar story. Overseas, Snow White took in $44.3 million in its opening weekend, bringing the total to just $87.3 million, with a budget of around $209 million. That means Snow White is destined to be one of the biggest bombs in Disney history. It will not recoup.
Inside Disney, chaos is spreading, and it all started with Rachel Zegler's own words. In multiple interviews, Zegler didn't just critique the original 1937 Snow White, she dismissed it outright. It's no longer 1937, she told Variety. She won't be saved by a prince. Fans were stunned. The core love story? Gone. And it didn't stop there. In another viral interview, Zegler doubled down, calling the original film extremely dated and promising a radical reimagining. She's dreaming about becoming a leader, Zegler explained. But to millions of fans, it sounded like she was throwing out decades of magic and memories. Disney insiders admit they were blindsided. There's a strict process for interviews, one marketing source said. Somehow, she went completely off script. The backlash was immediate. Boycott Snow White began trending. Lifelong Disney. Fans said they felt betrayed. Former Disney creative exec Michael Harrington summed it up. You never insult the original. You're insulting people's childhoods. This wasn't just any film. It was Walt Disney's legacy. A revolutionary, risk during the Great Depression. And to many, Zegler's comments felt like spitting on that history.
because Rachel Zegler, in the aftermath, we know all these things that went down behind the scenes. The protections Disney put in place to make sure she didn't put her foot in her mouth once again. And also, now that we have the second weekend box office numbers, we know that, yes, indeed, Snow White is a historic flop for Disney. The biggest live action conversion, or animated to live action conversion, the worst flop that they've ever seen. We'll be lucky to get too far past $200 million at the box office. Right now it's on pace to lose Disney nearly $300 million. But another Disney star who said very controversial things in the past apparently supports Rachel Zegler. The very same man who is starring not only in a Star Wars movie that's upcoming, but also in a Marvel movie that's upcoming, not to mention the entire Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars saga. He's also going to be a big part of that.
Disney hoped they could control the narrative, but Piers Morgan just lit the fuse again. This isn't about one actress anymore. Morgan claimed the entire production is collapsing behind the scenes. Entertainment lawyers are sounding the alarm. When someone like Morgan makes specific claims about internal test screenings or finances, that's legally risky, said attorney Sandra Mitchell. But Morgan isn't backing down. In his latest segment, he revealed sources inside Disney are saying test screenings were disastrous. People were confused by the messaging. They felt preached at, not entertained, Morgan said. And then came the financial bomb. Merchandise forecasts have been slashed by 70%, he declared. Even worse, he says Disney is seriously considering delaying the film's release to rework major scenes, something that would cost millions. And if that wasn't enough, Morgan says the studio is quietly minimizing Zegler's presence in all future marketing. The strategy now is to spotlight the evil queen in the visuals, he claimed, anything but the lead actress. But the fan base isn't letting go. 3 petitions demanding Disney respect the original have already hit nearly half. 1 million signatures. And vintage Snow White collectibles? Selling out fast. This isn't a controversy anymore. It's a rebellion.
Disney has one of their biggest stars, star of Star Wars movie, star of your Fantastic Four movie, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe moving forward, publicly backing the person they just threw under the bus and who lost them $300 million. Gonna be interesting to keep an eye on this one.
This scandal is no longer just about Snow White. It's changing the way Hollywood treats its biggest franchises. Insiders say Disney has now halted production on 3 upcoming remakes while they rethink their entire marketing strategy. This is a reset moment, said one senior studio exec. Everyone's watching. No one wants the next PR disaster. Meanwhile, casting directors are reportedly steering clear of Rachel Zegler for future tentpole projects. The fear of backlash is too high. Disney's stock already showing signs of pressure. Investors are now questioning the leadership that greenlit this approach. Even more telling, young actors across Hollywood are undergoing a new kind of media training. It's called the Zegler Protocol. Lesson 1? Never disrespect the legacy. This controversy has left a mark. And the message to Hollywood is clear. Fans won't tolerate stars who mock the stories they grew up with.